The concept of the dweller on the threshold is one that is seldom discussed in public spaces. That is because, under normal circumstances, the only people that are required to understand who the dweller on the threshold is and what that whole process is all about are people that are undergoing a spiritual initiation. However, when it comes to narcissistic abuse, we are no longer dealing with any normal situation in life. Narcissistic abuse is a spiritual initiation. It is a cosmic initiation. You are being initiated by both the dark and light forces of life. And in today's video, I'm going to give you just a glimpse of what that initiation looks like. I just want to do a quick shout out before we jump into the video. Shout out to you, Solaris. Where have you been? You've been quiet. Shout out to you, PHTTT, I think. Shout out to you, Damas Nkwana. Shout out to you, Pelrose. Shout out to you, Pax Mendoza. Shout out to you, Find Your Free. Shout out to you for where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name or in my name, something along those lines. Shout out to you if I didn't mention your name, but you've been an avid supporter of this channel. I'm really grateful for your support, and don't forget to like, don't forget to share this content with kindred spirits, because it's so important that as many people as possible, particularly within the spiritual community, get to have access to this information. Thank you.
The narcissist plays a very multi-layered role in your life, and the most important of these roles are spiritual ones. And I'm using plural terms because even spiritually, the narcissist plays more than just one role in your life. In today's video, we are going to look at the 3 spiritual roles that the narcissist is playing in your life. I will also share important tools with you, or rather important information that has to do with how to respond to these roles that the narcissist is playing in your life. So I'll be sharing these tools and information as I go along, sharing the roles that the narcissist is playing. Before we get into the video, I want to issue this disclaimer. Just because the narcissist is playing a spiritual role in your life doesn't mean that you should keep the narcissist in your life or try to make your relationship with the narcissist work, because that's not going to work out well for you. The best way to love a narcissist is from a distance, meaning no contact or very strictly modified contact in complex circumstances, such as where you have to share custody of your children with them. Now, let's explore the spiritual roles that the narcissist is here to play in your life. Number 1, the Narcissist Ground Hog. This is the role that the narcissist plays in your life for as long as you haven't woken up to the true nature of reality, as well as the true nature of narcissism, which is spiritual. You find yourself repeating the same unpleasant and often traumatic patterns, like the movie Groundhog Day. You will keep repeating this until you finally notice the repetitive nature of these patterns, such as relationships with narcissists, narcissistic colleagues at work, and narcissistic bosses as well. Sometimes you'll also be dealing with narcissistic family members and friends. You are meant to notice these patterns, to become aware of them, and to understand their root cause so that you can dismantle them at their core. Unfortunately, this dismantling of narcissism in your life will quite often mean the dismantling of your very own life. You will soon enough realize that the nature of narcissism is such that it weaves itself so tightly, so intricately into your life that removing it means cutting yourself off from aspects of yourself. This becomes the spiritual sacrifice you have to be willing to pay for your own freedom and the freedom of those who are meant to follow in your footsteps. This becomes your contribution to your soul group within humanity. You will often have to walk alone. You will be betrayed. You will be abandoned. You will feel lost in the world. You will feel misplaced. You will go through a very dark night of the soul. And this takes us to the second role that the narcissist is in your life to play. Number 2, your spiritual rude awakening. When you encounter a narcissist in your life, that means you have come to the end of your journey with the dark matrix. That means you are now chattering the outskirts of the limited construct and have thus explored all that is there to explore within it. This is why you will often have asked yourself this question: is this all there is to life? You're asking this question because you've seen all there is to see in this illusory dream of the dark matrix, and it is now time for you to wake up. Here at the outskirts of the matrix, the narcissist is the dweller of the threshold, here to both block you from living and to also prevent you from staying. You are therefore going to have to overcome the narcissist, or he or she is going to kill you, literally. It would have been great if I was exaggerating with the point that I've just made now, but unfortunately, I'm not. I cannot tell you how many people I've watched in my own personal life, as well as life in general, who have died at the hands of narcissists. And unfortunately, there is no way that anyone will be able to point their death back to the narcissist, because at the end of the day, it is a spiritual war. It is a spiritual assassination that would have taken place at the outskirts of the dark matrix. The narcissist has marching orders from the dark overlords of the dark matrix to kill anything that tries to exit the dark matrix. But since this is a spiritual thing, as I previously mentioned, you will not be able to pinpoint exactly what the narcissist did to harm you, let alone prove it to others. And yet you and every narcissist that slips into your life will engage in a fierce battle until one of you is on the ground or until you get away. All of this is hidden in plain sight. It is precisely this battle that the narcissist will never admit to be waging against you that will force you to wake up to a reality beyond the third dimension, to discover the lower fourth dimension, which is the realm where the narcissist hails from, the realm of mind and emotions, the lower mind and emotions. You will have to transcend that realm to enter into the upper fourth dimension, where you know that light is victorious over darkness, where you overcome guilt and shame, and you know that faith overcomes the three-dimensional limitations. And even there, you will still have to keep moving until you reach the present moment, which is the fifth dimension and dimensions beyond that. There, you will enter into the present moment of here and now, where God lives, the great I am that I am. And here, in the present moment of peace and joy, that present moment of fulfillment, of love, of acceptance and safety. Here in this present moment is where we rule and reign with Christ. The present moment is our eternal heavenly place, our eternal destination. And the narcissist will keep chasing us until he can no longer reach us. And the only place where the narcissist cannot find us is in the present moment, where we are hid with Christ in heavenly realms, in higher dimensions beyond the lower fourth dimension. This is how the narcissist serves our spiritual awakening and our ascension into Christhood, the hood of Christ, the Christ state.
I've said it many times before, and I will say it many times again. As human beings in this plane of existence, we are going through the cosmic school of consciousness. That means we came from God. We came from the spirit realm as spirit beings, and we manifested into the physical form. We materialized along with the Christ essence of God, through whom we have made this journey. And through the Christ essence, we then get to spiritualize, to return back to our spirit nature, to return back to our divinity. And how this gets to happen is that we have to go through constant life initiations. But in order to return to our God nature, we need to transcend matter. We need to overcome matter. And that process of overcoming matter is a spiritual one. We have to go through constant life initiations, which is what narcissistic abuse is part of. The narcissist is the dweller on the threshold of your life in that regard. You need to understand that when it comes to narcissistic abuse, you are going through a cosmic initiation. You are being initiated by both the dark and the light aspects of life.
Number 3, the narcissist is here in our lives as the great tester of our initiation. As the dweller of your threshold, the narcissist will test you on every level. And if you haven't spiritualized certain aspects of yourself for whatever reason, the test will be very painful. The narcissist will on many occasions force you to battle death itself. The narcissist will test your self-awareness, your self-agency, your boundaries, your psychic protection, your knowledge, your resilience, your spirituality. Basically, everything that can be tested in you, including your ego and your unhealed wounds, the narcissist will test these. He or she will test you in such a way that if you fail the test, you become demoted on your spiritual initiation. It's very important to understand that even if you fail a test that leads to your demotion, that doesn't mean God's love for you has changed. You just have to keep going until you pass the test. And even if it means you have to pause for a moment to regroup. It is also very important to understand that even when you fail a test, as long as you remain awake and aware of what is going on, God will make that whole situation to work out for your good. He will turn that negative situation into a powerful lesson as well as a gift. With God, there is no failure, in the words of Ricky Byers Beckwith. This is why you should never entertain self-criticism or self-judgment or any negativity towards yourself. This is because we have a mediator in Christ, who is that great divine Spirit of God within us, greater than our shortcomings and our failures. So don't focus on your failures. Focus on the lessons and the gifts of God. Ask every day and night, what lesson am I learning from this? What gift is coming through this experience? What lesson? What growth? What healing, what integration, what joy, what blessing is coming through this experience right now? Because I promise you, it is coming through. And as long as you keep your focus on it through this particular questions, they will begin to show themselves. All of these things will begin to show themselves in your life. Let God answer in a way that only He can. Let Him give you the strength to pass every test, just like Yolanda Adams has said. And in conclusion, as painful as narcissistic abuse is, whenever you can, find it within yourself to express gratitude to God, because there is so much going on when it comes to narcissistic abuse than meets the eye. Humanity is under attack right now, and you are playing a part in this war. You are helping to set humanity free by healing and integrating yourself. And you are doing a whole lot more than that. And just because you don't know you are doing a whole lot more than that, doesn't mean you're not doing it. You are doing it. There's a whole lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that we are not aware of, that we are not even allowed to become aware of, lest our pride gets ahead of us. Remember, God is much more intelligent than any military intelligence demons and their human hosts can ever conjure up. Pick up your cross and fight your battle. Climb your mountain and win your victory in Christ.
Thank you for spending time with me, Soul Tribe, Soul Family, on this transmission. Remember, consciousness is the new frontier. Until next time, namaste.